So let's check out this little lithium and lead acid battery charger. So it charges lead acid, lithium, and LiPo4 batteries. 12 volts or 24 volts, 10 amps. Let's have a look at it. Alright, so we got it out of the box, and this is how it comes. The cable's hooked straight up to there. There's no like attachments. Then there's the power cable, and pretty simple. This little guy is 20 bucks on Amazon, so you know we weren't expecting crazy things, but the fact that it works is the important part. So there's your label in the back. Let's plug it up and see what happens. Alright, so plugged it in, but no battery hooked up, and it just says off. So we're going to have to hook it up to a battery to see what's happening. We'll hook it up to the Tahoe on the truck under lithium. Since I'm running a dual battery setup and I have this breaker up here, this, when it's closed, connects this battery to my trunk under lithium. When it's open, they're separate. So this battery and the front alternator run the truck, and then the green alternator, the 370 and the truck under lithium, runs the sound system whenever I have this open. So I want to make sure that's open before I start charging this battery. Now the Tahoe has been sitting for about a week, so I'm not sure where the voltage is, but it will be low because I've run stuff I have it stuff charging. So let's see what happens when I hook it up. See what it does automatically. Oh, that's sitting at 13.1. That's where it's supposed to be. It's showing the temperature in Celsius, showing the voltage it's charging at. And it's saying, what is it saying right there? Motorcycle. I don't know what the hell that is. Let's see if we can find a button here. Okay, there's a button. It's STD. Press it again. I got that. That's repair. We're not doing motorcycle. What's that standard? What's that say? AGM, gel, wet, lithium. Okay, so I think that's where we're going. See what it does after that. It should do that for a minute and then do something else. I'll have to wait and see how this goes. Alright, so letting it cycle. It's just sitting here doing its thing. This is what it's doing. It's showing the state of charge over there on the right, showing the temperature in Celsius and Fahrenheit, and it's showing the voltage, and the amperage is doing 7.2 amps. So it's putting power in there. That's how it works. You just get it, you get whichever the thing you're trying to do flashing down here, and it does the thing. Pretty simple and pretty cool for a $20 battery charger. Man, the time that we live in today are so weird. So it's still pulling everything up, showing the voltage it's at. The amp hours were 84 Fahrenheit, 29 C, half amp hour. That's how much it's done so far, I guess. I don't know. And 13.8 volts and 7.1 amps. So here's the interesting thing though. There's also a function on the settings there to go to repair. Now what I'm thinking that is if you have a battery that's voltage is dropped so low that most of the time the charger won't pick it up. That's a pretty cool function. Usually to get that to work, if you have that happen, just get a 9-volt battery and connect the wires to where your charger can see the voltage from the 9-volt battery, and then put it on the battery you're trying to repair, and start the charge, and then just disconnect the 9-volt battery and it'll continue to charge. Kind of tricks the charger into charging even though the voltage is way too low. This thing apparently has a function to do that without having to trick it with a 9-volt battery. I can test that function because out here in my pile I have a battery that's deader than a doornail. This thing, it should be thrown away, but we can definitely use it to see if this thing will try to repair it. So this thing has literally been sitting out here for years, and don't have the thing pressed out. I put the meter on it and I didn't get anything. Let's see what happens. Why is that? Oh, wavy. I'll set this bad boy up here, and those should reach. Positives over here. Yeah, too short. All right, positives over there, negatives over here. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to connect it, and then we're going to change it to repair. See what it does. It's hooked up. Let's try disconnecting, reconnecting. It's trying to charge. It's saying full. Alright, so I got my little voltmeter up here. It's showing the battery at 10.5. Apparently that voltmeter is a piece of junk. So we're at 10.5 volts. And let's try, because it should charge on that. The button won't do anything because I don't know why. Let's disconnect that, and then right now it lets me move it. So that's standard. So if we leave it on standard, connect the battery back up, since it's showing 10.5, stick our voltmeter in here. It's saying full 10.4. Yeah, so that's not doing what it's supposed to do. At least I don't know what it's supposed to do. So it's not doing what I thought it was supposed to do. So we put it back on the repair function. It starts up, and the voltage is sitting at 10.6. And it says it's full. So yeah. So cool thing, when you touch these leads together, it does this and says you have a problem. So that's cool. We're going to go back to our lithium setting and hook it back up over here to the power and the ground, and it should just, yep, it kicked right off, started doing its thing. That's cool, man. I don't know about the repair function, but I mean, it could just be, I don't know, something I did wrong. But it didn't work on that big old battery. Still, it's doing the job on my lithium, and that's what I wanted it for. Okay, so it's reading 13.6, 13.8. I did check the voltage on the battery, and it's like 13.3. with my meter, and in here on the dash it's 13.2, so I believe that's 0.2 something, so I believe that the charger's voltage is reading a little bit high, which is fine. I don't care, but just wanted to point that out. You know, it's a thing. And like I said, I tested right here where it's connected with my meter and with the gauge in the front, and both of those jive together. This guy here is the outlier, so I would assume that it's the incorrect one. Of course, it could be that it's a better meter than this and my meter on the dash, but yeah, I don't think so. It does, however, have a little cooling fan that's running, and so you know it's running because the fan kicks on whenever it starts charging. And I'm not sure where it's getting 87 degrees Fahrenheit, because there's nothing in this system that's 87 degrees Fahrenheit, except possibly the charger. The charger feels a little warm, but the batteries, the outside temperature, none of those things are even close to that temperature. So I don't know where it's getting that number at, but that would correspond, I think, with 31 Celsius to 7.1 amps. I can believe that. And the little state of charge thing. Now, I'll keep an eye on it for a while. For those of you guys that are wondering about the door pods, I'll give you a sneak peek. I got stuff in here. I got grills that are going in. I got sizes. I got some deadener. I got some epoxy. I got more stuff coming. Again, that's why I haven't started, because I'm still waiting on everything to come in. So I think that voltage it's showing is what it's outputting, not what it's reading across the system, which would indicate this thing is more complex than I thought. It's giving me its charging voltage, not the system voltage. And I think the temperature it's showing is the temperature of the charger, because it feels pretty warm. So it's giving me an internal diagnostic while it's running. That's actually kind of cool for 20 bucks. So currently it's saying 91 degrees, 13.7, 7.2 amps output at 13.7 volts. And the thing is up to 91 degrees, and it's kicked out 0.9 amp hours this time. Now remember, I already had it on here earlier, and then I took it off and stuck it on that battery, so it starts that count over every time you reset it. It starts that amp hour thing. That's how much power it's put into the battery. That's cool. 20 bucks, guys. How cool is that? It literally shows you the voltage it's charging at. So I grabbed the instructions, and so yeah, it says that's the charger inside temperature. So that's the charger temperature, that's the charging current, and the charging capacities, how much it's putting in. I was right about that. And the low voltage, repair process ended, standby. What am I missing? The voltage. It's not showing the voltage listed here, but it gives you the steps on how to use it. It's not very long. It's actually fairly short instructions. It's saying, yeah, don't do anything like that. And then it gives them to you in a different language, of course, because why not? So the American version is right here, and output voltage is 12 to 24 volts. Output current is max 10 amps at 12 volts, 5 amps at 24 volts. And it's a smart charger. It actually figures that out. So battery voltage indicator during charge. So right there, Winter mode indicator if your external temperature is below 10 or above 50. Wow. Summer mode, so it figures out the temperature outside and adjusts the charge. That's crazy. Motorcycle mode is recommended for small current charging, a max current of 3. So you could probably use that. Standard is for standard batteries. Deep cycle, all the normal stuff. AGM, standard battery for AGM gel, lithium and lipo batteries, that is what we're using, is that thing right there. And then repair mode, the maximum repair time is 24 hours only for lead acid batteries. Cannot repair badly damaged batteries. Charging level indicator, that's that little thing in the little battery. We figured that out in the mode selector. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I mean, I don't know, man. Of course, in typical American fashion, I fired it up, plugged it up, started using it, and then I read the instructions, because that's what one does. 13.6, 7.2 amps, 1.4 amp hours, 93 degrees Fahrenheit. It's cooking right along, man. Literally cooking. Doing its thing. The old TTL battery's getting a nice little charge. It's always good to keep the batteries nice and charged. You're going to say driving around does that. Driving around kind of does that, but it also kind of doesn't do that. So whenever you're trying to, most batteries won't accept more than a certain amount of current at one time. This lithium battery will take a lot of current. I mean, like 400 amps or so constantly. So it can be charged quickly like that. But it's good to it's good to, when you're down, when you can, to put a low amperage charge on it and let it charge up and float out, because the battery gets a lot stronger that way. Also, just having the battery on charge keeps it from, running down. And in my vehicle, I'm actually running things while the thing is turned off. So, for example, most of the time I don't have it unhooked, so my tablet is always on. Sometimes I turn it off, right? So it's not on, but it's still but it's still charging. So, and then I got the voltmeter and stuff like that. It's running. This runs all the time unless I actively turn it all off. So the tablet's charging and the voltmeter's running, and those are things that are using power. And that's running directly off of trunk under lithium. So if I'm not actively driving it on a daily basis, this is getting a draw. So putting a charger on it to keep it up is kind of a good thing. And yes, I can turn that stuff off. I can't turn the voltmeter off, but I can unplug the tablet and it doesn't charge. So then all we're getting is a voltmeter reading, which it could sit for months like that without any problem. Hell, maybe years. The tablet will run it down though. It does use power while it's sitting here. It connects to the internet here at the house, and so yeah, it is what it is, man. 93, 13.7, 7.2 amps, 1.7 amp hours, 93 degrees Fahrenheit. It's doing its job. I'm impressed. So yeah, these are the grills we're going to use. They're a mesh grill with a flange, so it actually mounts outside the speaker. And both of these are made the same way, so they're going to match. This is for the 10s, and this is for 6.5s. And then I got epoxy deadener, and this is a 2-part epoxy. I hadn't sure exactly how I'm going to use it yet, but we'll find out. Check it out. This is what it'll look like when they get it put in. Isn't that clean, man? These things, so the grill goes on first, and you set it up, right? And it has this flange around the outside, and then that flange fits underneath this, and this goes on. So you leave 4 screws out. You put 4 screws in, you leave 4 screws out, you put this on, and you put the other 4 screws in. and you end up with that. Is that cool or what? These speakers are insane, guys. I mean, they're absolutely off the charts. These things are crazy. Look at this. Look at this thing. It's a monster. All right, it's been about half an hour or so, and we're still putting in amperage. We're at 96 degrees Fahrenheit on the charger, and it's saying 13.9 volts. This battery can accept up to 14.8 volts, so that's totally fine. I'll just keep watching it.